Hi, I'm Amanda.
I'm Corey.
And we are homesteading 100% off-grid
On 100 acres.
in the wheat belt region of Western Australia. So we recently put in the freezer our 2 pigs and we crunched some numbers to figure out how much it cost us.
Pig math.
Yeah, and we figured you guys would be interested in that too.
Okay, pig math. 101.
Okay, so this was our first time raising pigs.
Yes, it was.
We learnt a lot along the way, and
That ain't no lie.
I feel like there's some things if we did it again, and we will be doing it again.
We do different.
We do different, and maybe
Yes.
we can touch on them kind of at the end. These were home-raised pigs for about a year. You know,
Yep.
Happy, healthy piggies.
From approximately 8 weeks when we got them, were they?
So they were born in April 2023.
Yep.
10 days apart because the same dad, 2 different mums.
Yep.
And then we got them at the end of May. That's
Okay.
when we acquired them. We built an enclosure especially for them.
Yep. Because we had nothing to put them in.
No, we had nothing to put them in. And I think we did it quite economically. We used a fair bit of what we already had. We used like a wire mesh for the surround. It was quite sturdy. Like, how thick is that? Is that like 4 mil or 6
It's
mil or
about
something?
6 mil. It's like
6 mil?
sheet mesh panels.
Yep.
We had some that were here, so we've used what you got. So we made made a circle basically, about 15 metres in diameter, which gives you about 170 square metres, roughly, of area. And we basically just put the mesh panels, wired them together and did a circle, and then put star pickets in every sort of 2 metres around it, and wired the mesh to the star pickets.
Okay, and to the mesh, we had hot wire.
Down low we had a hot wire just on plastic insulators on the mesh with the hot wire running through.
We used an existing solar panel. We
Yep.
purchased an energizer, but we are now reusing the energizer. So again,
Yeah.
that's an asset for the property.
Yep.
And IBC for a shelter. We are actually in the area where their enclosure was. So there's like trees and stuff that helped with shelter through summer and also winter.
Yep.
For water, we had a water tank on top of the IBC, which fed down into a pig nipple.
Yep.
And that water tank was automatically filled up,
Yep.
like just regularly. And they kind of made their own area they wanted for a wallow. We also included different things for enrichment. We had some toys in there, like a ball. We put some like logs in
Logs
here.
in there.
At one stage we had the logs stacked up and we put sort of lots of garden clippings and stuff in there, and they loved that.
Yep.
And then like the logs themselves became a bit of a toy.
Yeah. Surprisingly, I was pretty happy with that.
So in any sort of vegetation we could, or like branches or anything we could put in here.
Yep.
Like they loved playing in that.
Yep.
Bales of hay. They really
true.
liked that as well. So they would play in that and also like eat it.
Do a bit of a munch on it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So enrichment type things. Costs for the pigs.
Oh, cost for the pigs.
All right.
This is why we're here.
Not including the enclosure. So that's just to give you an idea of what our setup was and what kind of your options might be.
Yes.
Okay, so 2 pigs, purchase $200, $100.
$100 each.
Now look, they weren't any sort of heritage breed or anything like that, so that's not really like an aspect that's relevant in this circumstance.
Yep.
To feed them, we bought some bulk feed from a local farmer.
Yep.
And that was, what was the weight of that? It filled up an IBC.
Yeah, I think it was
An
about
IBC full. So
maybe around 600 kilos.
yeah, it wasn't a ton.
Roughly, of like a grain mix.
Yep. Like a barley and oat something.
Yeah. Yep. Don't you dare knock the camera over.
She just burped at me. That's Summer, by the way.
I taught her that.
And that was $130.
Yeah. I'm sure it was 130.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we... Hi.
Don't goober on Mum's phone.
Okay, and we also bought...
What are you
There's
doing?
a cow.
I'm just holding the
This is now
tripod.
the cow yard.
Hi, come on.
Hi.
Because we had a bit of a shit incident yesterday with the camera and the cow and a pile of shit.
She really likes the camera, but she knocked it over into a pile of poo.
Yeah, there's still poo on it.
I think that's just sand.
It's organic.
Okay, and we also bought
Sit.
approximately... I don't think that works.
Later. All right, go on. Approximately
5 bags of pig finisher.
pig finisher.
Like pig feed.
Yep, that was
feeder
about,
finisher.
what, 150 bucks?
Yeah, we estimate about $30 a bag.
Yep.
We think it was 5 bags. Might have been 4. Oh, you've got an ant on you. Come here. Come here.
Oh, an ant.
Is it?
Oh no,
an
it's
ant?
a bit of dirt, bit of organic matter.
Here. Come here.
Oh, summer. Maybe we should have not filmed in here.
Buying the finisher wasn't actually part of our original plan, at least not 5 bags worth. The timing, the reason why we bought the finisher is because it was originally just going to be 1 bag,
Yep.
and we were timing it between, like, just to cover a gap between when the bulk feed we bought
Ran out.
and they were going to get butchered.
Yep.
So I think...
By us. We'll just throw that
Yeah,
bit in.
that was the original plan.
Yep.
So maybe a time management thing. We weren't 100% sure, like how long the bulk feed would last. But what ended up happening is about the time that we wanted, they were ready to be butchered and the bulk feed was running out, which was early this year. Corey went in for his surgery on his foot fusion, and that kind of put him out of action for a number of months. And we were kind of going back and forth, going,
What do we do?
do we get them butchered by like a mobile butcher? Do we keep feeding them for an unknown number of months until...
Because I wasn't really in any position to be doing that.
No.
To doing that thing, you know, so...
Until Corey was well enough and we could do it ourselves, like we intended.
Yeah.
And I think it just came to the point where we're like, okay, let's just... Like, the cows were coming in. Corey was going through his whole... Like, still is going through a whole recovery process. Let's outsource it, basically. Let's get this off our plate.
Yeah.
Yes, it's going to be
An
added
extra
to our
cost.
extra cost.
Yeah.
Which I guess goes in nicely to the cost of the butcher. We got a mobile butcher. He dealt with the dispatch and the butchering. And then we just got delivered back meat, whole pile of meat. So that was, at the butcher, was $200 a pig. So $400. 2 pigs, bulk feed, the finisher and the butcher came to $880.
$880, all up. I think we got about 114 kilos all up of everything combined.
Yep, so that the hanging weight was 121.
Yep.
For the two pigs.
Yep.
One was 54 kilos, the other one was 67 kilos.
Yep.
So that was that differentiation we're talking about between the two.
Yeah, the two
size
different
pigs.
sizes. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yep.
they maintained that difference in size for the whole time.
The whole
So-
duration of the growth.
So received weight 114 kilos.
Yep.
Of that, the fat we received, and this is both the leaf lard,
The
or the
inside
belly
fat,
fat, and also like the muscular fat.
the outside fat.
Was 13.7 kilos. Bones, which is just general bones and also like marrow bones,
Yep.
was 5.6 kilos.
Yep. Does that include the hocks or are they separate?
They're separate.
Okay.
Offal, so we got the hearts and the livers, 2.1 kilos.
Yep.
Hocks, 5.6 kilos. And meat, 86.5 kilos. The cost per kilo works out to approximately like $8 per kilo.
And that's
With the butcher.
Yeah, that's with the butcher.
Yep.
Yep.
And then if we butchered it ourselves, that would have brought it down to about $5 a kilo.
We think that's well worth it. So, 80 odd 85, whatever it was, kilos of meat, actual meat. We're talking like chops, roasts, fillet, bacon, you know, all that, and then plus the hocks, the fat, and the bones on top, which will use everything. Like that's a lot of meat. It's a lot of meals.
It is a lot of meals. I think you broke it down and by kind of the average
only two of
meat
us,
you would
remember.
have like per
Yeah.
meal, and I think it worked out to about 139 meals or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we did is we made like a list
Ooh.
of. It's what you told me to do.
I know, and you did that. You did what I told you to do. You never do that.
So we just made a list of all the different cuts.
It's the first time I've seen it too.
And just little little boxes so we can tick off when we take them out of the freezer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how much of each box represents a meal.
Or like a package in the freezer.
A package, yeah.
Yeah.
So for example, you got like loin chops on the top, and there's 2 per pack. So all these boxes represent the packs of loin chops.
Yeah. And then when you come to the roasts, even though there's kind of 10 roasts, that could be multiple meals.
Yeah.
And then on this side, we have got the meals that we've been making with them so far.
Yes.
So we've done some really good stuff. Now, I have to say that one thing that I was unsure about or concerned about was, is it going to taste good? Like, did we do a good job raising it? It's just an unknown when you haven't done it before.
Yep.
And can confirm that it was.
Oh, it's lovely.
It's great
Yeah.
meat. Yeah.
Yep.
It's delicious. It's tender.
Very well presented.
Yeah.
It
It's
tastes great. Cooks up great. And the meals we've had so far with it, yeah, have just been
Yeah.
lovely.
Yeah.
Been
So
awesome.
yeah, we've done some really nice stuff like, you know, your classic roast. With the mince, we've done some burger patties, done some Swedish meatballs with pasta.
Yep.
The loin chops, really nice. You crumb them;
Yeah,
they were
crumbed
delicious,
them
and
the
then
other
fried
night.
them in
Yep.
like some of the lard.
Yep.
The cutlets have been really nice. The pulled pork we did in a like a broth. It's like it's a Thai meal where you boil it in the broth, flavoured broth, and then you have that with veggies and noodles, and then we used the leftover that just for sandwiches and
sandwich
in
meat.
enchiladas.
Yep.
Use some pork belly in like a pasta ragu type thing.
Yep.
You marinated the tenderloin, and we had that in like a ramen.
Oh, the fillet. Yep.
Like the ramen noodle soup.
Oh, that
That's
was
like
good.
a recipe that I pinched off Nissa
That was lovely.
from Our Small Footprint. So, yeah, so we're just keeping a track of that sort of stuff.
Yep.
So,
And also, I like the little list because it also gives us a guide of, you know, what's left in the freezer, because you can't exactly see it all. You know.
no, you kind of, we try to be organised, but when there's so much meat, you're just
Yeah.
like stacking the heck out of
Yeah.
it. It was one animal that we thought, oh, I don't know if that's actually what we want to do. We thought that'd be hard to contain.
Yeah.
They might be hard to keep.
Boy,
but you know what?
Were we wrong?
They were a really like easy and fun animal for the homestead, and
Yeah.
for the grow out period, like you really get a lot of bang for your buck.
Yeah, I
Like
reckon.
as a homestead meat animal.
Yeah.
So yeah, they were fun, they were easy.
Yeah.
The setup we did, no trouble with them getting
No.
out.
The electric wire, the hot wire, is a 100% must.
Yeah, look, I mean, there was a time there at the end where we had disconnected the hot wire.
Yeah.
And just within those few days,
It didn't take them long.
they
were
were
like,
testing it. Yeah,
They were chewing on it, and then they were pushing on it, and then they were trying to get
they were methodically
the green
testing it. Yeah.
that was on the other side of the mesh.
Yep.
And you could see where they were starting to, is
Yeah,
it furrow? What do they
furrow
call it?
root,
Root with their nose under the mesh.
Yeah.
And you could see like little holes starting to
Yeah.
develop. So I reckon if there was no hot wire at all, I'm pretty certain that they would have got out. They would have ended up
Yeah.
digging under.
Yeah, they would have been capable of getting through.
Yeah, but the hot
digging
wire
under.
solved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was yeah, so that was definitely a positive thing.
Yeah, definitely.
One thing that nobody told us that they do is they poop in the same spot.
Yep, yeah, right there.
Like, given enough room, they just poop in the same spot.
It was quite,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's normal, but our 2 pigs, pooped in the same spot.
And yeah, they were, yeah, they loved rolling around in the mud, but they weren't stinky. People were like saying, oh no, pigs smell too much. Didn't find them stinky, I won't say at all, because they're still like farmyard animals.
Yeah.
So, you know, when it rained, maybe their pen got a bit of a whiff to it, but it wasn't a major drama.
No.
Yeah, so overall, definitely a positive experience with the Piggly Wigglies.
Yep.
Yeah, and they tasted great. So, thanks, Pig.
So it was always the plan that they were going to be food.
That's right, and I think that helps as well. Like, from the outset, going, okay, let's not get too attached.
Yeah, we're getting these 2 pigs that are this big, and they are going to be food when they are this big.
Yeah.
You know, so...
I mean, you can still, like, treat them with a lot of care and, like, engage with them.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's up to you how close you get with them.
Yeah.
So, but you'd have to work at it to get them to be super friendly towards you. So, I think if you're just...
Which we didn't.
No, we didn't. No. Because the intention was to have them for meat. So...
I would like to try like a pig tractor. Hi.
Hi.
I would think like having a pig tractor set up that you could move around.
Yep.
Would be something I'd like to try.
Yep. So, I mean, I think they really like their enclosure, but yeah, kind of putting them to work on the property would be good, and moving them around to different bits of pasture, or having like a dedicated, secure kind of cell grazing system.
Oh, yes. Yep.
So, yeah, I don't think even though we've seen it on YouTube, I don't think I could trust them just to like a single string, string of hot wire
with no physical mesh barrier.
Yeah.
There.
So, changing up the enclosure.
Yep.
The feed, so better like grow out time and management, grow out schedule management.
Yep.
This was our first time doing this, so we were kind of feeling out how much feed they were having.
Yep.
It increased as they increased in size.
Yep.
So I think the bulk feed we got, the 600 kilos, lasted us about
9-10 months.
Yeah, 9-10 months.
Yep.
In future, we would have like better time management across that grow out schedule.
Yep.
In regards to feed.
Definitely.
And that would help control the costs as well.
Yep.
And the final thing would be probably the butchery. Like, super happy with the decision we made and what we ended up with. Next time, would really like to try the butchering ourselves.
Yep. And I reckon you could get it down to under $3 a kilo.
Yeah.
For homegrown pork.
Yeah, if we managed the feed better and we did the butchery ourselves, then
between $2.50 and $3 a kilo, I reckon.
So yeah, if you are an Australian homesteader considering whether or not to have pigs as to raise pigs as a meat animal, 10 out of 10 would recommend. Definitely.
Absolutely.
Give it a go.
Yep.
They're easy, they're fun, they don't smell nearly as much as people say they do.
We were very happy with everything.
It wasn't that hard to build them a secure enclosure, and for your kind of return on investment and grow up period, they are a really good value animal.
She's having a scratch on the chair. Is that nice?
I think she's enjoying a little scratch on my chair.
I think so.
All right, well, I hope you guys found that interesting and informational and useful. And feel free to drop any questions in the comments.
If we haven't covered something that you really want to know,
surely we've missed something. So just ask.
Like anything, ask away, and we'll do our best to answer.
Fantastic.
All right.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining us.
See you on the next one.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Is that you for the next half an hour?